Hey everyone, my name's Stephanie and I wanted to share my Desmoid story with you. Something I've never did before, so bear with me. This all started back in June 2012 when I had my first colonoscopy done, which confirmed that I do have FAP, which runs on my mother's side of the family pretty strong. That was an automatic removal of my large intestine, that's what I was told. So my large intestine got removed November 2012, and it was confirmed that I did have stage 1 colon cancer. So I was really emotional about that. That moment changed my life. It still makes me emotional. So I had the surgery done and had my J pouch created. I had wonderful surgeons to go through this with me. After my reversal surgery in March 2013, I ended up getting a hernia, which was repaired in December of 2013. That had got repaired. So 2014 came along, and I went to the emergency room for many reasons. 3 of them were due to kidney stones. So my third kidney stone, I did a CT scan, and they found something abnormal on my scan. Those results were sent over to my primary doctor, and she didn't know what it was. She had no idea. So she automatically sent those to my GI surgeon, and he called me and he assumed it was a desmoid tumor. And I freaked out because I've read on this stuff after having the surgery done and having FAP. Having a desmoid tumor is like one of the worst things that we would want. Of course, anybody wouldn't want a tumor, but just in my case, it's the worst thing that I feared. So I did the biopsy December of 2014. I finally did the biopsy, and it was confirmed that it was a desmoid tumor. So January, February of 2015, I started my hormone therapy, which was the tamoxifen and Solandac. I was still working at that time, and I couldn't do that. I mean, that to put my body into menopause, like that was crazy. And to have to go to work and only be 33 years old at that time, I couldn't handle it. So I stopped taking it, and I kept working throughout 2015. Then I started having pain in an area, and I thought maybe it was for where my hernia repair was at. And I went to my GI surgeon, and he ended up, checking me or whatever, and he's just like, no, that has to be your desmoid tumor because it's the location it was in. And it was just, I had the tingling sensation, I had a burning sensation, and it wasn't constant, but it was uncomfortable for me. So the next step was to go be referred to an oncologist. So I went to see the oncologist December of 2015, and the only thing that he offered me was to start chemo, and I started taking Gleevec in February of 2016. I have been on it since. It's been very emotional for me, just mentally draining, and being a single mother of a 16-year-old son and trying to live life and provide the best way that I could for him. My dad, he told me his worst fear is having to bury me. That's one of the worst fear a parent could have, is having to bury their child. So my desmoid tumor is non-operable. Radiation is not an option right now. My tumor is in the mesentery, like I said, so the only thing I can do is try this chemo and see what it's going to do. From what I understand and what I've read, chemo is just to prolong my life for the time being. I can't have any more kids because of this. For one, for having FAP and then having the tumor at that. So it really took a toll on me. Just my life has changed so much since finding out about this. it's not more physical. It's not a physical challenge. It's mental for me. It's just a daily thing because it not only affects me, but it affects everybody that's around me. I try to live my life the best way I could. I've lost 50 pounds since being on Gleevec. I've lost 50 pounds in 2 months that I started it, which is okay. I needed to lose the weight, but it was the wrong way to lose it. I was really, really sick. I've been to the hospital for having very low potassium, being dehydrated. I had acute pancreatitis from it also. So this year has really been up and down for me. I've did a lot of research on my tumor and read stories and reached out to people, and it's maybe I went too far into it. You know, there's certain things that I shouldn't have asked, and it's not, I wouldn't say it's negative, but it's just things that I shouldn't have to have asked. I didn't need to know the answers to those because it just made it worse for me mentally. I don't work at the moment. I was told not to work, especially being on the chemo. The location where my tumor is at, I can't do any twisting really. But for now, I feel like I'm okay. I feel fine. I'm energetic. I just take care of my dogs and try to have a happy life with my family and try to be as normal as can be. So I lived in Oregon and I had a really good team out there, but I recently moved to Washington. So I have heard many great things about Dr. Pollock, and he's in Seattle. So I am hoping to visit him soon and seeing what he thinks about it. Like I said, I've heard great reviews about him. So my tumor is the size of a grapefruit at the moment, and they say it's growing like an octopus, and it changes form every time I go in for a CT scan. It changes its form, which sounds weird to me. Just, there's times where it feels like it's throbbing. It feels like an extra heartbeat inside of me, but maybe it's just my mind playing tricks on me. I have no idea. But I'm scared. I just never knew that this would happen to me. And like you guys, I'm sure you know, I wake up and just tell myself, why? Why did this have to happen to me? Like, I didn't ask for any of this, you know, and my uncle passed away 3 years ago. He had FAP also. He was on chemo for 5 years and doing radiation treatments, and he had a really strong radiation treatment which caused his liver to fail. It's not confirmed, but my mom did say something about he could have had a desmoid tumor, you know, on his liver, which I would never know because he's not here to tell me. So he's the one that motivated me to follow through with all of this stuff, and I'm just really scared. I have nobody out here really. I don't talk to much people. I mostly talk to my mom and my brother.